Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome back to Challenger Spectate. So we've actually not done like a genuine Challenger Spectate in quite a while. And we're watching MagiFelix, so we've kind of gone to the extreme that it's rank 1 EU West. So MagiFelix, we've done many spectates of him over the years. He is that kind of crazy player that at one time had like five accounts in Challenger or something ridiculous. And yeah, I thought we'd give it a watch because VIEGAR is one of my champions that I play. I definitely have room for improvement on him. And what interested me is no matter who he lanes against, because right now I don't know if he's against an Aurelia or a Sylas. It technically could be either. I struggle against both of those champions, especially on something like a VIEGAR who in theory doesn't have any early game presence. So I want to see what MagiFelix does to not only survive the lane, but also do really well. So yeah, let's see if we can pick up anything that I can use and you guys can use in your own VIEGAR games. Worth knowing his runes: Predator, Taste the Blood, Ghost Poro, Ingenious Hunter, okay. Biscuit Delivery, Warp Tonic, that's just to let you stay in lane longer than you normally would be able to. And then we get rune stats: attack speed, ability power, then magic resist. So he is predicting he's against a Sylas, not an Aurelia. And again, it could technically be either. Both Sylas and Aurelia can flex, but there we go. So it is a Sylas mid. Interesting to me that VIEGAR, he is actually taking attack speed. Maybe, again, I don't think I take attack speed because, you know, VIEGAR's all about that ability power. But maybe it does make sense because it gives you that faster clear time for autos for your Q. Hayfield Worker and also Unbroken Lizard, 50 months. The big 5-0 says 50 months. Huz, I can't be frank with you. I'd have to change my name. What? I'm so confused. Was that a joke that's just gone over my head? It might be. Oh, that's why. Right, yeah. So he's got Ingenious Hunter to reduce the cooldown of Predator. And potentially Everfrost. Does it do Everfrost as well? Gain item haste. Yeah, it would. So that is actually not that bad of an idea. It makes Predator, because it's technically an item cooldown. And like, look at the poke. Like, this is something that, again, I just can't seem to do, right? Is VIEGAR should not, in my head, have lane priority over a Sylas, but he is. But the problem, whenever I lane against a Sylas, I don't know if I'm the only one, is whenever I have a Sylas against me, they're always on me at level 2. They're always on, like, they're engaging on me. They're not playing passive. This is the thing, is this Sylas to me is playing it wrong or different to what I normally see Sylases do. So that's the weird thing. Early lead for the enemy team. Ah, it's a joke. You got to start practicing your dad jokes with a baby due in June. Oh, congratulations. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so yeah, clearly top lane is, mid lane is going very well for MagiFelix. Pushing in a Sylas, doubling farm right now. You can see in top lane, by the way, it's kind of going the same, but the other way around. Interesting cage. Talon tries to invade a VIEGAR. Didn't go very well. Wait. Yeah, sorry. The portrait on the right has changed to a Talon as well, but it's because he became a Talon. The portrait does officially change. I kind of forgot about that. But yeah. So far, anything learning-wise of VIEGAR versus Sylas type of thing, honestly, it's be aggressive, if anything. Like, he's genuinely being quite aggressive, which I don't really do when I'm playing VIEGAR, and that may be something that I should look to do, because, you know, we've said it multiple times that, like, dude, there are so many champions in League now. Gets a nice flash there. There are so many champions that are supposed to be late game hyper carries that are stronger in the early game than you'd ever imagine. Even Kayle. You know, I've seen Kayle's win lane in early game now, which is bizarre, but they happen. Even Vladimir's very strong. By the way, Vladimir's getting buffed in the upcoming patch. That's going to be really scary. Also, Kassadin, he's stronger in the early game than you'd actually expect a Kassadin to be. He's also getting buffed too. But yeah, this Sylas is playing it ridiculously passive, I will say. And this is the one thing with Challenger Spectates that you never really know. I don't know what rating this Sylas is. You'd presume it's another Challenger player, but when everybody practically who pays attention in solo queue knows who MagiFelix is, he is the rank 1 EU West player, there is potential that people play different. Like, that's the only thing I will say. So it's the kind of like the Faker effect. If you're against Faker in solo queue, you're probably going to play a little bit different. And maybe that's the same kind of thing with MagiFelix to a certain extent. So he does TP back in. He gets, by the way, rushing tier 2 boots, which obviously is for massively, you know, his Predator buff that he's got. It is worth knowing that, you know, it's kind of how I play VIEGAR as well. You don't really roam at all with VIEGAR. You know, he's not a roaming champion, because a lot of people would confuse, oh, he's running Predator, that means, like, you know, he's going to roam, right? No. Predator's more for your mid lane, and it's more for making opportunities happen. That VIEGAR sometimes does have that problem that he can't quite get in range to get a cage off. Predator allows you to have that extra kind of ramp up movement speed that will give you the range, or give you the movement speed to get in range to use the cage. So that's what it's more for. It's not really for roaming. Same for a Vladimir. Vladimirs that take Predator in mid lane, it's not for roaming. It's to pop Predator when you get your empowered Q, and then every time that you have your empowered Q that Predator's up, you go for a Predator empowered Q, and you suddenly half health your opponent in lane just off doing that alone. So again, not all runes, their intended use, are kind of used in the way that you first imagine, which is cool. Talon only level 4. I will say pretty brave. Gets good stun by MagiFelix. Goes for a full combo into the VIEGAR, who's also around. Worth knowing, Talon did just level up. VIEGAR flashes. I'm not sure about that one, MagiFelix. Seraphine for some reasons in mid lane. No really idea why. But they end up, unfortunately, losing that skirmish. I will say MagiFelix shouldn't have flashed in. I think the Talon was dead, but maybe the VIEGAR was also dead. But it is what it is. But yeah, that was a level 4 Talon, leveled up during the fight. That was, at the beginning of the fight, a level 6 VIEGAR. So the Talon actually has been quite far behind in XP. But yeah. And yeah, one thing is noticeable, T-Drinker just pointed out. Even though we've all seen MagiFelix is poking quite hard, using spells on the Sylas, look at the farm. He's at nearly 60 farm, about to be, at 7 minutes. But also maintaining lane pressure, etc. Like, this is very impressive, and that's what a very, very, very talented player can do. They can do both. They don't decide, oh, I'm just going to farm, or I'm just going to poke a lane opponent out. They do both. Unfortunately, Sylas did just get another kill, so what was an early game in MagiFelix's advantage has now turned into, I'm not saying the advantage is completely Sylas, but it's a 3-0 Sylas now, and that's always scary. Sylas is a snowballing champion. Gold-wise, worth knowing that Sylas is actually ahead of gold. Predator use does actually get the Seraphine flash, gets the roam, and gets a kill. So VIEGAR isn't a roaming champion. Doesn't mean you can't roam, though. It's just not the standard thing to do on him. Because, you know, the standard thing to do on VIEGAR... Oh, this could be a good pick. Enemy team is looking aggressive. They might go aggro, but again, there's a number discrepancy if blue team do decide to go for this fight. Send it out of position, though, and does end up flashing. And then red team, I think, is just going to back away. Hey, SDR Buck, how you doing, dude? Haven't seen in a while. You know, the funny thing is, these VIEGAR items, I'm like, oh my god, is he building Rod of Ages? Sag. Seraphine caught with the big combo. Does get the kill before Seraphine ult goes off. Very nice there. And again, Seraphine just burnt her flash. VIEGAR knew that. Goes to the cage, gets the kill. SDR Buck, thank you so much, dude, for the 23 months of Prime. Nearly the 2-year club. Much appreciate, my man. Hope you've been keeping well. Dragon now on the table, though, which is a... Well, you'd think it's a number advantage for red team because they got rid of Seraphine, and lo and behold, it is. One thing that is actually, like, I can't really understand at the moment is MagiFelix is just not farming. He's a VIEGAR. Normally, my priority on VIEGAR whenever I play the champion. Talon, big damage. Doesn't get the kill. Jhin heals from Triumph by the looks of it. Then, very nice play by... oh, the Q by Xayah gets the kill. But there we go. Yeah, this is weird to me because whenever I play VIEGAR, I'm all about... I'm staying mid. I'm getting my stacks. I'm just power farming, right? Well, maybe that's something I shouldn't do, apparently. Like... You know, this is why I'm watching this game of MagiFelix playing VIEGAR, because it's like, what does he do that makes VIEGAR work so well in a challenger game? That, you know, I'm not saying my VIEGAR's bad, but, like, I don't get fed in the early game, obviously. Like, that's not what I do on VIEGAR. I do run Predator. I run Predator on VIEGAR, but I more keep it for my lane. So, already watching MagiFelix already, I guess I got to roam a little bit more. That is just straight away something that we can pick up from the gameplay. Meanwhile, Singed goes down. Singed having a bit of a rough game. Very behind on farm. Which, you know, laning against an Aurelia is always going to be scary. But Yeah. Singed weirdly probably will outscale an Aurelia in due time. Probably like 3 items into the game, I'd imagine, around that. But that's obviously when he's not having a great early game. That's going to take a while for him to get. Farm woe, generally quite even farm apart from top lane across the board. Well, but then Viego's got the farm advantage in the jungle. Sylas is roaming, you can see on the minimap. Unfortunately, Jhin just waits around way too long. I don't know if he got... Yeah, and dies. I don't know if he got Seraphine ulted. I think he might have. And that forces him to die. He did also flash, which he shouldn't have done. As I've always said, if you know you're kind of dead, you know, he got Seraphine ult. He's in bot lane. Sylas is walking into the lane at the right time. Just save the flash. Because you're dead anyway. The flash didn't do anything. And now you're more vulnerable to another gank. So it does suck dying with flash up. But... yeah, sometimes it is the better thing to do. MagiFelix is teleporting top lane, by the way. So this will be a top lane and then popping Predator, I'd imagine. So there you go. Popping Predator. Going to try and make his way to the fight if he can. They do get an Aurelia. They are also chasing the Talon. Flash by the Viego there. Sylas is in the area. Does get a kill. MagiFelix combined with then the Viego does end up getting a big shutdown on the Sylas, which again is very big for a VIEGAR in the early game to get a... what was that, a 300 gold shutdown? That is always a good thing. All right, now going top lane. So this is nothing out of the complete ordinary in modern day League. Is, you know, you're a farm-based champion. I've done a play. I'm just going to go top lane, push the wave in, and, you know, Singed, if he wanted to, could run mid. That's nothing completely out of the ordinary. That stun apparently hit. To be honest, that looked a bit surprising. Aurelia got full stacks. Might go aggressive, and that's one thing that you can kind of bait out of an Aurelia. Oh, she's got full stacks. She wants to go aggro. They are having a number advantage here, but they managed not to hit the CC that they needed to, so they will, I believe, back away. Because the longer you try to go for that type of dive, for example, Sylas turns up with teleport. We couldn't see the teleport, because teleports are still bugged in replays, but Sylas did TP. Talon in mid lane. Be honest... Talon was one of those weird picks that happened last season that, like, a lot of people used Talon to climb to ratings that they had never achieved before, and it kind of got obviously nerfed away. I haven't seen a Talon jungle in a really long time. This guy obviously is still probably playing it. Does get stunned. WQ combo gets him to about half health. Not bad. And again, that's half health already on VIEGAR without any completed items. He's got 200 ability power already. And again, that's the thing. 121 stacks, technically, already at 13 minutes into the game. That's how well MagiFelix is doing with landing his Q to farm, poking his opponent. Like, he's doing a really good job. Talon getting CC'd into the full combo. MagiFelix gets another kill. Sylas probably is... Viego's probably dead. Is trying to escape. Actually does a pretty good job. Is he dead, though? I think he might be. Does get stunned in the end, though. Singed doing what he can. Aurelia, though, in the area. Good flash by MagiFelix to avoid that. But then Singed is going to go down. Oh, is he? Run, Forest, run! Whoa, MagiFelix's positioning I do not love. He's trying to take the Aurelia into the poison. Oh. Sylas is in the area, unfortunately, though, still. Oh, God! He's trying to get executed. There is not... I don't believe there's a perfect line. He tried to wait it out just a little bit more than he could to get an execute, and it wasn't quite enough time. So, unfortunately, does get killed. But, yeah. Damn, dude. Dragon is up Infernal. Again, unfortunately, if it's still the same... Yep. They, unfortunately, have got rid of the timer things in the Spectate. I don't know why. Again, replays have been broken for a long time. Riot just... It's not a priority of them to fix it, apparently. Talon does get a dragon, which is always nice. But yeah, bit of a crazy game. Crazy games do seem to be about the norm in League of Legends nowadays. Don't really ask me why. I don't know. You know, if you ask anybody right now in chat or the comment section, if you'll say, what is your average game of League of Legends crazy? It's a fiesta. I'd imagine the average response would be yes. Like, that is just apparently what League of Legends is nowadays. It's just an absolute mess. But yeah, I don't know. Because normally, and I've even had it in my games, normally the higher rating you go, and obviously we're watching Challenger here, the pinnacle of solo queue. Normally, the higher rating you go, the more passive the gameplay, boom, another kill. The more passive the gameplay, people preserve their life a little bit more. But it's just not happening. There's like, we've got, what, 30 kills in 15 minutes in a Challenger game. That never really used to happen years ago. Like, very often, like 5 years ago, if you want to say that long, a challenger game would maybe have 10 kills maximum at 15 minutes. Like, the game has fundamentally changed in that regard. So, yeah. Let me know if you prefer that or not. I know some people do. I know some people don't. But yeah. So red team, as you can see, are taking priority control. Oh, does avoid, gets the cannon too, so that's pretty good. Maybe everyone got influenced by the LPL region. No, I think what it is, like, again, it does kind of make sense when it comes to balance, is obviously the damage in League has gone up astronomically compared to years ago. Aurelia's dead. Talon looking for a flank. Weirdly enough, and this is sometimes a thing like a Talon does, he focused the support, right? Like, VIEGAR was standing right next to that, and yay, they kill Senna, but you're focusing a support that heavily over one of the main carries on the enemy team. It's a little bit weird by me. But yeah, someone's saying, would I ever spectate Nasus? Probably not, because that would be, in essence, about 20 minutes of just watching a Nasus press Q in top lane. Not exactly what we need to watch, but yeah. All right, going back, Everfrost, I believe, purchased by VIEGAR. Obviously, people know I'm not a big fan of Everfrost overall. I believe if you're playing a carry-orientated champion, I'm just not a big fan of it, but there are exceptions. VIEGAR, he doesn't actually get it yet. VIEGAR is definitely one of these exceptions because of the raw amount of AP the champion gets. The average game of VIEGAR, you're nearing 1,000 ability power. Very often, it'll be above 1,000 ability power. So when you have that much ability power, it doesn't matter if you've got Everfrost or Ludens. You're going to do millions of damage. And giving a bit more utility to his kit is never a bad thing. So that's what I would say is it's okay on VIEGAR. I even think it's actually okay on Neeko. And that might confuse some people. But Neeko, she's not like a pure burst mage, even with building burst. She can do it, but she is more of a utility mage with her big, you know, her E, her ult. And a lot of the time, the unfortunate side of Neeko is people just walk out of your ulti. When you're flying up into the air, people just flash out of it or walk out of it, and you're like, well, great. The Everfrost can actually give you that little, oh, they actually are rooted and they're going to stay in my ulti. I don't like Everfrost on Ahri. That's just a personal thing. I do not like Everfrost on Anivia. So, you know, it is worth knowing that. But yeah, right, so Sylas getting caught out again, into the CC, into the ulti combo, and that's another dead Sylas. People don't seem to be completely respecting the VIEGAR here, and again, what I'm looking at and what I'm trying to pay attention to in watching MagiFelix this game, the biggest thing I can definitely take... Oh, the items are broken, I think. Ah, damn it. So replays have been bugged for quite a while. Unfortunately, this is not updating now. I can try to fix it, but it's going to be hard, unfortunately. Again, as we've said, Riot doesn't really care, unfortunately, a lot about replays, unfortunately. If we give that away, bring it back, that might fix it. There you go. So to update it, if it's not going to update, I've got to take it away and bring it back. So that shows the true reflection of what's actually going on. Let's actually get red team vision back only. So yeah, it's not updating live because you can see VIEGAR is farming and it's... Oh, no, it is. Okay, so his farm is going up, which is good. Maybe it fixed. Maybe I swapped to the gold once and that bugged it out. Again, I do wish, you know, replays were reliable, not broken all the time, but anyway. So I think he actually had Everfrost ages ago, by the way. But obviously it was bugged, so we thought he didn't. The crazy thing, and I have done this build on VIEGAR before, if you're having a bit of a spicy game and you're very confident with how you're playing and you're making money, you're farming well, you legit can go death cap second item on VIEGAR. Why? Again, it's what we said earlier. It's all about the raw ability power VIEGAR can get. So he's got it. He is, just to say, everybody, it's not even 20 minutes into the game. VIEGAR has got 648 ability power. That is more ability power than 90% of mages will get with their full 6-item build. That's the strength of VIEGAR. So he's gaining 229 ability power just from his passive. So that, you know, he right now would only be at around 420, what you know, roughly 420 to 430. He's at 650. So, and that's after 2 completed items and a bit. He's got an Oblivion Orb. It's just mad how much ability power he can get. And that, again, is why I'm completely fine with Everfrost on VIEGAR. You know, having 1,000 ability power, you know, in 3-4 items, you're fine with having the item. Big fight happening in top lane. Aurelia's teleported already. Now VIEGAR a little bit later. Aurelia, though, does go for the engage, gets spooked away with VIEGAR TPing in nearby. And now VIEGAR will just chill. That was an unfortunate situation where Senna and Singed got caught. Are the enemy team thinking of Baron? I'd think they'd be pretty brave. Oh, Talon waiting in a bush. He is now in trouble, though. Rampage does get the kill. They do end up getting a bunch of thingies, though. Oh my god, what a survival. I think he's going to die. Maybe he's not. It was an insane survival. And how's it going, Light Cherry? Hope you're doing good. That was mad. He became Talon, jumped over the wall, smited the Baron to get the health, then ulted back over the wall. That was pretty good. Like, people probably didn't notice, like, literally everything that Viego did in order to survive that situation. He had to do everything perfectly, otherwise he was dead. That was kind of nuts. I presume he's bought a stopwatch as the VIEGAR because, again, he is a very high priority target, especially for the Talon. And Talon, you know, let's be honest, he is a bush Wookiee champion. He wants to wait in bushes to pounce on somebody. So having that Zonya or stopwatch just to kind of stop it does seem to be quite a priority that VIEGAR should be wanting to get. The only problem, obviously, with buying components, right now, he doesn't want to sell his corrupting potion this early into the game. So he is stuck on his current items until he can afford a full Morello or a full Zonia's, because his items right now are full. And again, he probably doesn't want to sell corrupting potion this early into the game. He might, but he probably doesn't want to. But that's the negative of buying some more components than you normally would want to. Okay, so red team is technically at a disadvantage, and that's the weird thing, right? Red team has got less gold, they've got less kills, and yet, whoa, big damage by Seraphine. I think there might have been a Xayah Q or something mixed in with that. But yeah, I think so. Oh, she walks in! Why is there no big damage? Boom! Seraphine ult, really good dodge by MagiFelix. Big fight happening. Singed in the middle, slowing everybody with Riley. Aurelia ult goes for it, doesn't hit it. Senna justifies. Nearly a triple ultimate by MagiFelix. Talon goes for a really weird flank, a little bit desperate it looked like, and doesn't end up getting anything from that. Fight's going to continue. MagiFelix does land the stun into the combo, does get the ulti, which may be in a bit of overkill, but the Seraphine is dead. Silas goes for a bad play, does go for a double kill, does the MagiFelix, and that is a one fight. So that's kind of the mad thing, is it just shows that sometimes gold or kill lead isn't the definition of actually who's winning the game. Is the team was actually like looked like we've got the presence, we're going to like take the fight, was red team, and at the time they were behind. Well, they're still actually behind on gold, but they were behind on kills also at that time, and it's just kind of nuts. And yeah, MagiFelix played that really well. He dodged the Seraphine ult, and if he didn't, he'd be dead. The Talon tried to go for a flank. VIEGAR survived it. Didn't even use stopwatch, by the way. So very, very well good played by VIEGAR there. Aurelia is obviously looking for something here. You don't obviously want to give the enemy team Baron if you can help it. Unfortunately for Xayah, she gets caught by the Singed. And Talon, again, you can see, Talon is only focusing MagiFelix here. Thank you very much, Cad Arceus, for the 22 months of Prime. Never chase Singed. They do actually chase Singed, and Singed ends up with 1 kill, so it's a 1-for-1. Not terrible. Dragon is up in less than a minute, so everyone should go back, buy your items, and then get back into the fight. Again, gold. I don't want to press gold. I don't know if VIEGAR's if this is actually updated. I presume it has, that he just hasn't managed to get enough gold to buy one of the full items. Like we said, that's the negative of buying components. You need 2,000 gold now to buy your next full item, and to have a complete 2,000 gold takes a while to get. But he has got, by the way, 750 ability power now, everybody. It's crazy. Dragon being taken. Nice by red team. Good team play. Get over there. Don't let the enemy team take it. They now have a clear dragon lead. Nearly have the mountain. A Predator popped. Silas out of position. Doesn't have flash. Into the cage. Actually gets stunned by this E. Another kill by MagiFelix. Very nice. And that's the power of Predator. So you're watching it. The power of Predator with Everfrost or VIEGAR is more about catching people out. That's what it's for. You have the damage from all your raw ability power. You don't need Ludens. You don't even need Leandres, really. There are some maybe games you could buy a Leandres on VIEGAR if, like, literally it's the tankiest team in the world. but Leandri's isn't exactly a VIEGAR item either. Anyway, side laning is happening. VIEGAR, you know, when a VIEGAR side laning, you are probably feeling quite confident. You know, the Talon is still trying to get that kind of pick on MagiFelix. He's been trying this whole game pretty much, and just it's not working. And I would say that is arguably, I love Anivia clearly this season, but it's the weakness of Anivia. If she gets focused, it's quite hard to do anything. With VIEGAR, he has that cage. Cage is so good for protecting you from these type of situations. You know, it's better than Anivia wall by a long way in that kind of, you know, protect type of situation. So they were looking for a little engage in mid lane. Aurelia going crazy aggressive. That was never going to work. VIEGAR popping Predator into the double, into the cage. Big damage. Hasn't used ultimate yet. Does Zhonya's. That's his stopwatch to actually use. All of them are dying. VIEGAR flashes over, gets the ultimate, and again, Talon, no flash or anything. I've never loved Talon without... Well, I don't like running champions generally without flash, because I do think double kill VIEGAR. I think it does make you very vulnerable to these type of situations. Ace, though, for red team. MagiFelix teleporting closer to the enemy base just to try and end the game ASAP. Big auto attack damage, obviously, VIEGAR's got with base. You'd be surprised. And now with the minions, they have Baron buff. They can look to end the game. So basically, how do you make VIEGAR work getting fed early game in a challenger level game? As weird as it sounds, play way more aggressive than I ever do. Like, I don't play aggressive on VIEGAR. I will openly admit that. I literally am the kind of playstyle kind of like a Nasus. I'll just stay top lane and power farm until I get really fed. That's not what MagiFelix did. He did do that. He's got 189 farm. He was winning in farm pretty much the whole lane phase. But it was also quite aggressive. He was not backing down from fights. He was using his range versus melee advantage. He was roaming a lot more than the Silas was. He was using Predator. And yeah, he knows the limits of the champion, obviously being one of the best players also in the world. So really cool to watch. I'm definitely going to take some of this, hopefully, into my own VIEGAR games moving forward. Yeah, hopefully you guys have found it entertaining and educational. If you did, please do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal